Okay, so I'll just start with how the Joomla community works. Within the Joomla community, everybody is a volunteer. We have the leadership team, and the leadership team consists of 3 smaller teams. The PLT, the CLT, and OSM. The PLT is for the strategy of Joomla, of the code. They don't develop themselves, but they guide the people who develop, and they combine everything. The community leadership team. I'm in the community leadership team, and we help out with it to develop the community. At the moment, we are trying to get more connections between Joomla.org and all the local language communities. And Open Source Matters. They help out with the financing of the project and the legal matters. We have a lot of teams, working groups. For example, Joomla has a forum for technical questions, and at this forum we have about 120 moderators helping out, not answering questions, because answering questions is something all other volunteers are doing. Well, and the moderators and the global moderators, they help out with questions, but mainly they guard the forum. It should stay a friendly place. And if you see the amount of spam which is posted every day, it's horrible, and yeah, it costs a lot of time. You have these local, regional Joomla communities, like the one in countries. In Holland we have joomlacommunity.eu. In Germany you have a community, in Norway you have a local community. Those local communities focus on the language. So they help out with translation, not only of Joomla itself, but also for the extensions. You also have extension-based communities. For example, Fabric, it's I think from Norway. It's a component. You have Community Builder, or you have Nuku. There are a lot of people helping out with those kind of software. And it's not at the Joomla.org website, but they are local. I mean, those are extension-based communities. Hello. Sorry, no problem. Take a seat, please. Thank you. So, how to get help or advice from the community or in the community? First of all, what kind of advice do you need? If it's technical advice, you can use the forum. Please use search before you post your own question. And make sure that you know that other volunteers are helping out. It's not you ask a question and people are obliged to answer it, or people can read your mind, what you mean. So give all the details, no security related details, so no login, but just the details, and be patient a bit. We also have the docs website. You can use some help, but I come to that later. The documentation website is the place to find technical information about Joomla. And well, the sheets will be available after this presentation, or maybe tomorrow or the day after, so you don't have to write everything down. Okay. Of course, we have Google. Hello, no problem, take a seat. This is about the community.
The community?
Yeah. I was talking about where to get advice. No problem. I was talking about where to get advice if you have problems with Joomla. We have Joomla forum for technical questions. We have this site for documentation, and of course Google can be your friend when you are looking for stuff, especially if you use the right keywords. So if I have an error with Joomla, I copy and paste the error, put it in Google, I say Joomla with it, and sometimes I also say site semicolon of this is a column Joomla.org, and then Google will only present the results that are on Joomla.org. So this is useful when trying to solve errors. sometimes you don't have time, or it's too difficult, or you don't have time because the project has to be finished really soon, and the people at the forum are just helping out if they have time, and sometimes you want to make sure that something is developed or so. A place to find people who can help you on a commercial base is the Joomla resource directory. It's a directory where you can find all kinds of categories with companies, and I recommend people to find a company in the same time zone, or maybe even in the same city, because it's easier to go to some company or to get some company over. The extensions. One of the success factors of Joomla is the extensibility of it, with all those extensions. What kind of extensions do you have for Joomla? Can someone tell me that? What extensions are there?
Yeah, things like shops, butcher mount.
Yeah, now you are talking in categories. I was talking about.
But little
Yes,
components. Yes.
You have components.
Like you can get post-it notes and
Modules.
mm.
You have plugins,
Yeah.
templates, languages, and in 1.7, 1.6 you also have libraries. I won't talk about that. Does anyone know what the difference between components, plugins, modules is? I don't have it here in this presentation, but it's easy. Components are really important in Joomla. If you are hello.
Hi.
No problem. If you are on a page in Joomla, you always see, if the search engine friendly is not on, you always see com_something, like com_content. And then the content component is active. Or com_search. And in that way, the search component is active. You also have modules. Modules are the small things on the side of your website. Modules don't have different states. A component can have different states, like save, view, delete, edit. A module is only a few. So modules are smaller, and the plugins are the things in the background. For instance, if you look at the components, the search component. First of all, you have the search module. It says search on some place on your website, and if you fill this out, it's just a form. It presents a small form on the top of your screen. If you use it, the module doesn't do anything. It just goes to the component. It gives the information to the component, to the com_search component, which will look in the database for results. But the com_search component can't do anything without plugins, because it needs search plugins. You have 4 or 5 search plugins, and a search plugin knows the structure of a database table. So if it gets some input, it also knows how to give input back. So there is a search plugin for a web links component, for a news feeds component, for the content, for the categories, the contacts. If you have a website, switch off all the search plugins you don't use. Only keep the content, because if people use search, you see a lot of buttons on the search page. And if you don't use the web links, why should people be able to search in the web links? It's not necessary, so remove the button. So that's a bit the difference between components, modules and plugins. And those 3, you can find them in the extension directory. And the extension directory, you see here small, it's really too small to see. You can see small colors, purple or yellow or green. And those represent if it's a language file or if it's a plugin or a component. And we also have new buttons for the version of Joomla, the 1.7, 1.6 or 1.5. But this is a sort of directory where you can find components, plugins and modules that you can use for Joomla. And those 3 extensions types, they are not at this website. This is just a reference. But everything what's here is GPL. So you can, there is nothing hidden. The source code is open. If you buy or download it for free, you can do whatever you want with such a component or an extension. Only keep the copyright in the source code. The copyright in the source code, you don't see it in the website itself. It's just in the source code. Okay, the language packs. I don't know if you use with other languages in your website. Yeah, you do? Oh, okay. Well, in Holland, almost everyone says yes, or in Norway. But in England, I thought most people would just use English, or maybe Wales, or anyway. The core files for Joomla, you can find it here. I will give the sheets later on to the organization, and they will distribute it, so you don't have to write it down. You also have extensions, and extensions can also have language files. And the first place to look if you need a translation for a component is the website of the developers itself. And if they don't have it, because most of them won't have it, but the large one like Community Builder, Virtumark maybe, they will have it. And if the developers don't have the language files, try to look at the community websites of the language. So if you need Dutch, for example, you have a JCE editor, and you want the messages in Dutch, and JCE doesn't have it themselves, just go to the Joomla community in Holland, for example, joomlacommunity.eu, and they have a lot of language files for all kinds of extensions. And templates, of course, it's also an extension. And well, you have a couple of things you can do. You can do it yourself. Can anyone of you code templates yourself? Okay, it's difficult. I saw a presentation of Hagen Graf, and it was interesting, and he showed how you can copy an existing template and change stuff, and it's a good way to learn about templates. You can also use a templates generator. Does anyone of you use templates generators?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Is it good?
I don't like it.
Okay.
What is a template generator?
Yeah, it's for example Artisteer. It's a commercial product. You can buy it, installed on your computer, and you can design a website with it. Only it will generate HTML and CSS code, and I don't like the code it generates too much. And from what I've heard, it's they improved it a lot. But 2 or 3 years ago, I had to make a change for a customer in a module suffix. So you have these kind of modules and in one place, and you can have different layouts. And this customer wanted 3 or 4 extra layouts, so I coded it in CSS, and it didn't work. And then I found out that they had some sort of override for the modules, so it was not possible, and I had to make all those kind of changes. So it's some people like it because you can, in a fast way you can create something. Only if you have to change it afterwards, it's difficult because you have a lot of code, too much. So do it yourself with code is, I think, better if you don't repeat yourself with the code. You can also go to the Joomla resource directory and find companies who can help you out with creating templates. Or you can go to the template clubs. There are a lot of template clubs, and they have nice templates. However, it's not only something visually. I mean, you can look at the templates and, oh, this is nice, oh, this is nice, oh, this template has too much information, because I see all those blocks of information, yeah, you can put everything out. The problem with templates is they have one product, one template, which should be suitable for a lot of people. So they have all those options in it, which makes templates heavier than if you made it custom. So sometimes I use template club templates, but I prefer the custom ones, not the generated ones, but the custom ones. But that's you have to try it yourself and see what suits yourself, what suits best for yourself. Okay, now I would like to say something about Joomla community involvement. For the people who came in too late, no problem, because I will tell something about the Joomla community from this point of view, for about involvement, being involved. Because you can go to Joomla forum and ask questions and get help, but if you don't do anything back, I don't think you're part of the community. You're just getting the information, but not contributing. And I think community involvement has to do with contributions. First of all, I asked at the beginning of this presentation who is helping out in the Joomla community. So who is? Okay. Who is willing to help out within the community, but doesn't know how to use PHP or MySQL? Yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, I forgot the sheet. I had to put a sheet in it which says, fact number 1, you don't have to use to know PHP or MySQL to participate within the community, because there are a lot of other ways. And now I will give 10 ideas how to get involved within the Joomla community. And I hope that this way you will see how big the Joomla community at joomla.org is. First of all, we have the forum. I already told it's for technical support. If you have a question and if people help you, those people are just other volunteers. Give a follow-up to the message, like, thank you, it helped, or thank you, but it didn't help, but now I know where to find it, because I was really looking for this, and this is the solution. So if you give a solution, and if you thank people, you will motivate those people to help other people as well. And if other people use the search, the forum search, maybe they find your solution. So you can help other people by thanking other people. Something else is, if you ask questions at Joomla forum, maybe you bounce into another question, and maybe you know this answer to that question. Why not help? Why not give just the answer? I think that you could do it like that. So you will help other people. We have a huge problem with spam at the forum. People posting messages about online games, online TV streams, about rugby, etc. Yeah, it's horrible. If you report spam, the moderators will get a message, and they can easily find the spammer and just remove him. If you have more time, and if you are really active in the forum, sometimes some people are asked to become moderators, to help out at a part of the forum, to keep that part of the forum a friendly place. And especially at some of the languages, like 4 Orion countries, we can use moderators. Because most people at Joomla forum speak English, and sometimes it's difficult to involve people from other languages because of the language. Idea number 2 is the extension directory. First of all, if you use the extension directory to find your extensions that you use for your website, please give a review and don't say it doesn't work or I didn't like it. But if you didn't like it, you can say, well, I didn't like it because I was looking for this, and this component promised this, but it doesn't fulfill the promises. So be constructive if you give feedback. Giving feedback will help other people learning about the extensions. Well, most people here didn't know how to write PHP and MySQL, but if you could, contribute it, because you might have created something really small. For instance, I made a small module which presents the last modified date on the website, because in the past I used a front page. And there was something which said last updated, and yeah, I used it, so I thought, well, Joomla, and I saw questions at the forum, so I wrote it, and I thought, oh, well, maybe some other people can use it as well, and then people started downloading it, and that's nice. The same with the forum. Misbehavior, if you see spam or if you see people doing things which are not allowed, report it, so the moderators can take care, and the quality of the extension directory will remain good. We have the documentation team. Here at this event we have Chris Davenport, who is helping out. There are two ways to improve this documentation on the documentation website. First of all, if you see some minor errors or minor missing information, just sign on, add it because it's a wiki, and hopefully it's good that that other people will add other information to it. And if you have some more time, please join the documentation team. The first option is just ad hoc. The second option is they are looking for parts, for areas where documentation is missing, like we have now 1.7, in the future it will be 2.5. We need information, so they will be more, how do you say it? They work in another way, like they just find, they just think about what the information what should be put on the website. If you run into an error or a hidden feature, you can use the bug tracker. They don't call it bug tracker anymore, and nowadays it's called issue tracker. If you have a problem, like you install Joomla 1.7 or next week 1.7.1, and you see some weird things happening, make sure it's not a bug from your computer or from your browser. And look in the bug tracker if you see other people complaining about it. If it's not there, please report it. You can also request features. People who can code, they won't report bugs, but they could submit patches. So not only the problem, but also the solution. But reporting bugs is enough if for people who can't code. If you can't code, but if you like to help out, in Joomla Bug Squad we have people who just install Joomla and try everything to break it down.
Okay.
To see what's working, what's not working. They are also helping out with the bugs that were reported. They are trying to reproduce those. And other people, and sometimes people in the Bug Squad, are submitting patches. So everything is working together.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
As
sure.
far as the
Bugs go, like I'm just sort of just learning Joomla and everything, but if I get a problem, something's going wrong, I don't know if it's something with the server. I just don't have enough experience to know if it's a server problem or if
Yeah.
it's a Joomla problem or if it's a browser problem, and then I just get stuck. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would not feel confident, reporting it. This is a Joomla bug, so I don't know. I wouldn't know, but you know. So if you're on your own kind of thing, you just sort of get into a corner and you can't.
Yeah. Well, sometimes I run into things like when 1.6 or 1.7 was in beta. I saw some information missing in the back end. Like in 1.5 you have an ID. If you are editing something, you see the ID on the screen. And in 1.6 and 1.7 there wasn't any. Well, is this a bug or why did they get rid of it? So I just reported it as bug,
Mm.
and then I had a discussion. Some people said, yeah, but it's only for power users. No, it is not. You have a feeling what you are doing because you see the number on the screen.
Mm.
Yeah, so if you don't feel comfortable, maybe you can talk with other people about it, and someone says, well, maybe it's a bug, and then you can report it. Or just install Joomla at various places, like on a server, or your own computer,
Right.
with MAMP, WAMP,
Right.
XAMPP, whatever. And use different browsers. And also don't install extensions when you try it out, because yeah, sometimes extensions can create bugs.
Mm.
And then you don't know if it's the extension
Extension,
or
right.
Joomla itself. Okay. Any other questions, by the way? I didn't say, but if you have any questions, do like he does.
Well, I guess what I was thinking is what I've done, because I'm just teensy wee bit ahead of you,
Yes. Bob did
is
it.
I go on the forum and look, I do a search for the query that I'm stuck on
Mm.
Great.
and see if somebody else has come across it before I would submit a bug, because my first thought is going to be, it's me.
Yeah, that's my
Yeah.
first thought too.
And exactly the same. When I was looking for something, with 1.7, the error messages, if you have errors in the configuration.php, the error messages are a bit cryptic. I mean, with 1.5, it says, I think, error 1, error 2, error 3. And then you could look, oh yeah, it's something in the database, you can't access the database. Now you get a G request, I don't know what it is. So, yeah, I do the same. But sometimes, if it's not at the forum, I use Google, and then you find it as well.
Google it.
Yeah,
It usually takes you to somewhere in the forum anyway, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Because
Yeah.
it's quite, I find the forum really hard to navigate.
Okay, that's no problem. What do you
Searching in
find?
the forums, but
That's what I mean,
the actual
searching,
search in the forums,
it's
don't
just
you?
awful.
Well, the search works in two ways. In the past, we had a search, and if people used the forum, it became so slow that you couldn't work on it. So now, if you use search, first search you use is using Google. And if you choose advanced options of advanced search, you use the forum search.
Right.
So, but I will show you some, maybe after this presentation, some extras, like using Google with the word site in it. Then you can. I will show you later. Language files. We have language pack for Joomla. We have language files for third-party extensions. And we have translation teams. The translation teams are helping out with the Joomla language packs. If you see errors in the language packs, you can contact the translation teams. But if you need language files for third-party extensions, and you find someone who helps you with the language file, please share those files. Please go to the developer and say, I have this translation here, or go to the language, or I mean the community of the language of the file, and submit it over there. Maybe other people can use it as well. Don't reinvent the wheel, or don't let other people reinvent the wheel. We have a magazine called Joomla Community Magazine. It's made by the community and for the community. If you have interesting information about Joomla, background information about Joomla, please consider contacting the editors and ask if your idea, if it's suitable for Joomla Community Magazine, because we can use a lot of stories, or you can join the team, because sometimes they need people. We have a social networking site. It's called JPeople. It's mostly for sharing opinions, but if you do, you can do it on the JPeople site. If you see people misbehaving, do the same like on the forum, on the chat. And some groups, they call it groups, they need moderators. So it's the same like everything. Moderators, we need moderators sometimes. And this is really important, the real life meetings. First of all, we have the Joomla user groups. They are locally or regionally organized. I don't know where you are all from. I think all from England. Look on the Joomla website, on community Joomla.org user groups, if there is a community user group, I mean a Joomla user group in your neighborhood. Because it's so good to share your opinion, to share your knowledge with other people in the area. If there isn't any, you can organize it yourself. And Joomla Days, I don't have to tell you something about Joomla Days. You're already attending one, and I don't know what the organization is doing. But if you want to help out, contact them. Maybe they can use new people for next year. This is also very important. If you make a great website which looks really nice, people don't see that it is a Joomla website, or it has great functionality in it which you can use as a demonstration. This website, the Joomla Site Showcase website, it has a lot of Joomla websites in all kinds of different branches. So share your Joomla website over there, just submit it and they will look at it and see if it's, how do you say it, if it's appropriate and if it's a good website to show the community showcase, site showcase. Because people who are not convinced if Joomla is the right tool to use, because WordPress has nice websites or Drupal has nice websites, if they see nice websites at this community showcase website, then maybe we can convince them to use Joomla instead. And of course, use your imagination. This is the 10th idea I have. Help other people with your knowledge, or with helping creating Joomla websites, or help to promote Joomla in a positive way. If you have criticism about Joomla, no problem, but please come up with alternative solutions. Because saying, yeah, we have to clean those bottles here and there, it's easy to say, but if you help out with finding a dustbin and putting everything away, or asking people we should help out, could someone help out, it's much better than just looking at the problem. I have a bonus idea. If you want to help out in the community for a longer period of time, we have in the forum, maybe it's difficult to find, we have a board called Help Wanted in the Community, and there we have a sort of vacancy list of jobs. I have to say, salary is not really high, but yeah, the things we can use for a longer period of time. And if you have limited time, we have the Jake People projects, where you can find stuff which need to be done, but which will take a lot of time. Did I say 12? This is not really, this is not there yet. This will be there here soon. I can't tell when. But we have the Joomla extension directory, and we are working at something similar for templates, because I think this is useful for people where to find templates. Okay. My conclusion for helping out in the Joomla community is please share your valuable time in some way with other people through the Joomla community, so that we can all benefit from it. Because we can only grow if we help each other out with knowledge, with extensions, with templates, with everything. Okay. Are there any questions? Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.